Hello students, how are you? So today in this class we will be discussing instruction, data format and the storage. Fine. So listen carefully. An instruction is a command to the microprocessor to perform a given task on specified data. An instruction is a command to the microprocessor to perform a given task on specified data. So each instruction has two parts. One is the task to be performed, called the operation code or the opcode, and the second is the data to be operated on, called the operand. So first thing is instruction, second is your operation code, third is your operand. Fine. So now the operand or the data can be specified in various ways. It may include 8-bit or 16-bit data, an internal register, a memory location, or an 8-bit or 16-bit address. What I have told, the operand or data can be specified in various ways. It may include 8-bit or 16-bit data, an internal register, a memory location, or an 8-bit or 16-bit address. So remember one thing, that in some instructions the operand is implicit. So now coming to the instruction word size, the 8085 microprocessor instruction set is basically classified into the three groups according to the word size, or you can say the byte size. So in 8085 microprocessor, byte and word are synonymous because 8085 is an 8-bit microprocessor. So we have 1-byte instructions, 2-byte instructions, and 3-byte instructions. So there are basically 3 types of instructions, or the instruction set can be classified into 3 groups. One will be 1-byte instructions, second will be 2-byte instruction, and the last one is 3-byte instructions. So in 1-byte instructions, a 1-byte instruction includes the opcode and the operand in the same byte. For example, you can see in the table there are different tasks. So first task is to copy the contents of the accumulator in the register C. So its opcode is move, MOV move. Operand is C, A. Binary code is 01001111. So 0100 become 4, 1111 become F. So the hex code will be 4FH. Second task is to add, means add the contents of register B to the contents of the accumulator. The opcode is add, operand is B, and binary code will be 1000 and 0000. So 1000 will be 8 and 0000 will be 0. So the hex code will become 80H. And the last task is the inversion, that is to invert or to complement or invert each bit in the accumulator. So what is the opcode? It is CMA. Already I have discussed that CMA. So for CMA there is no need to write any operand because it implicitly tells us that complement the accumulator. Fine. So the if binary code is 0010 and 1111, its hex code will become 2FH. So these instructions are 1 byte instructions. These are performing 3 different tasks. In the first instruction, both operand registers are specified. You can see in the table. Both the registers C and A are being specified. In the second instruction, that is add, the operand B is specified and the accumulator is assumed. Add B comma A, or simply you can write add B, means the value on the register B will be added to the accumulator. Means the second instruction here, the operand B is specified and the accumulator is assumed. Similarly, in the third instruction, the accumulator is assumed to be the implicit operand. Fine. For CMA, the accumulator here is assumed to be the implicit operand. So I have written no operand here because here the accumulator is always assumed to be the implicit operand. These instructions are stored in 8-bit binary format in memory. Means all these tasks for 1 byte instructions, these instructions are stored in 8-bit binary format in memory. So each requires 1 memory location. So for 1 byte instruction, each byte will require 1 memory location. Fine. So in 2 byte instructions, in a 2 byte instruction, the first byte specifies the operation code and the second byte specifies the operand. So there are tasks, you can see also, there are tasks that first task is to load an 8-bit data byte in the accumulator and the second task is to load an 8-bit data byte in register B. So for first task, our opcode is MBI, means move immediate. The operand is A, 32H. So now we'll have 2 byte, means there will be first byte as well as second byte. So for binary code, it is 0011 and 1110. The hex code is 3E. Second byte is 0011 0010, that is the hex code of 32. For MBI B, F2H, there are also first byte and second byte of binary code as well as hex code. It is 0000 0110, means the corresponding hex code will be 06. It will be the first byte. 11110010, corresponding hex code will be F2. It will be treated as the second byte. So for first task we have first byte as well as second byte. For second task also we have 2 byte, first byte and second byte. So these instructions would require 2 memory locations each to store the binary codes. The data bytes 32H and F2H are selected arbitrary as examples. Fine. You can take any example. Fine. So in 3 byte instructions, the first byte specifies the opcode. The following 2 bytes specified the 16-bit address. In 3 byte instruction, the first byte always specifies the opcode and the last 2 bytes specifies the 16-bit address. Note that the second byte is the low order address and the third byte is the high order address. For example, suppose we have a task that we have to load the contents of memory 2050H into A. The opcode will be LDA and the operand will be 2050H because the memory content is 2050H. So now there will be 3 binary codes, means binary pattern. 0011 1010. The corresponding hex code is also given. You can see from the table it is 3A. 0101 0000, the hex code of 50. 0010 0000, hex code of 20. So here 3A is our first byte, 50 is our second byte and 20 is our third byte. Similarly, if we have the next task is to transfer the program sequence to memory location 20H5H. So the opcode will be jump, JMP. Operand obviously is 16-bit address, so 20H5H. So here 20 is our low order address, 85 is our high order address. So 11000011 will be first binary code, 10000101 will be second binary code, 00100000 will be third binary code. So the corresponding hex code are C3, 85, 20. Similarly, the C3 will be our first byte, 85 will be our second byte and 20 will be our third byte. So these instructions would require 3 memory locations each to store the binary codes. So for 1 byte instructions, there will be 1 memory location required to store the binary codes. For 2 byte instructions, we require 2 memory locations each to store the binary codes, and for 3 byte instructions, we require 3 memory locations each to store the binary codes. Fine. So these 1 byte instructions, 2 byte instructions, 3 byte instructions are very important in terms of any competitive exam or GATE exam or in your semester exams also. Fine.